Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of my Grue Rume Show. For the Grue Rume Show today, I got a very awesome guest, and he is a wrestler and a podcaster, and he does like a lot of great wrestling interviews on his podcast, the Drip Drip Talk with Blake the Snake. And I'm really looking forward to talking to him. He seems like a really awesome kid, and his name is Blake DuFour. If I said your name wrong, I apologize. I am Rocco Cross. I am the host at Stutters. I am the host of the Grue Rume Show, and my interview with Blake will be coming up very soon. This is my Grue Rume, and as always, welcome to my nightmare. So stay tuned. All right, Blake, welcome to Grue, and thank you so much for being my guest today. I appreciate it, man.
I thank you for having me on here. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, buddy, thank you. So, the first thing I want to start asking you is like, when you were growing up, like, who were some of the guys that you loved watching on television? The wrestlers.
So some of my favorite wrestlers growing up were definitely I liked the New Day. I liked definitely Kofi Kingston specifically. I just loved everything that he could do in the ring, all
Mhm.
how acrobatic he was, just and I loved their comedy. They could
Yes.
definitely fit their comedy in wrestling, which was amazing. I also liked Ali and Ricochet,
Oh yeah.
some cruiserweight names there. And then I definitely liked Ember Moon when she was in the
Yes.
WWE. Yeah, I just loved her hair and her moves in the ring. She was just great. And then I also liked Becky Lynch. I used to have a big crush on her.
Oh, on Becky.
um, yeah. I just she was my top favorite, and then it went to the New Day. So those were most of my favorites. But if we want to go old time, like old time, I would have to probably say there's many names. Like The Undertaker was
Oh,
a great one.
of course. Like the guy is an icon.
Yeah. Um, Probably Kane because the Brothers of Destruction, and then Mick Foley. He was the man who just created basically hardcore wrestling, and he put his
Oh
body on the
yeah.
line basically like every match he did. So it was pretty cool. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah, like me, like growing up, like like I mean, I grew up a while ago, so like my wrestler crush was actually Randy Savage's wife, Miss Elizabeth,
Oh, yeah.
and that was the era that I grew up with. So like my favorites when I was growing up was like the Macho Man and Hulk Hogan and Ravishing Rick Rude and Jake the Snake, and it was like that era, Flair and Ricky Steamboat, Sting, Lex Luger, like those guys.
Those are great. Yeah. And I heard Macho Man was definitely really protective over Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah, that's what a lot of wrestlers said. Yeah, they said like he watched over her a lot, and but man, what a personality the Macho Man had. Like I that there really isn't a lot of wrestlers that can match Randy Savage's like gimmick, his personality, and he lived it 24/7. Like he talked like Macho Man all the time.
Right. Yeah. His promos were just top notch, incredible. Other than Ultimate Warrior, than Rowdy Piper. I mean, those three definitely were one of the three best
Oh my
talkers in the
god,
business back then. I mean, they could talk on that mic like it was nothing.
Warrior was like crazy. Like it was hard to understand what he was saying, but
Yeah,
Mach
yeah.
Mach Mach did good promos. Probably the best out of all of them was actually Rowdy Piper. Like he knew how to talk. Like the guy was a mastermind on the microphone.
I agree. Definitely, he was.
Did you ever see that alien film that he did? They live.
I never watched it, but I've
Oh my god,
actually
it's
heard of
so
it.
good.
I've seen some photos of him in it,
Yeah.
but I've never got to personally watch it. But I think I want to though. So
Oh, you
yeah.
should definitely watch it. Like if you're like a big fan of Rowdy Piper, like that movie is amazing. Like he's so good in it, and his famous line came from that. I came here to chew bubble gum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
Oh yes, yes, that's great. Oh, jeez, that's awesome.
Yeah. And what about like the wrestling now? Like, which wrestlers do you like now? Is it basically like the same that you like growing up, or do you have like new wrestlers now that you like?
Um, I like a couple new wrestlers. So like, as I like Becky Lynch still a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, Ricochet and Mustafa Ali fell out, not much anymore. Then
Okay.
when, yeah, then when Ember Moon kind of got released from the WWE, she kind of, because it was like, I don't know what was going to happen with her next. So, but now I kind of like her still. The New Day, I still really like.
Yeah.
But for new favorites, I definitely like Tiffany Stratton and Liv Morgan.
Yes.
Like as they're also two of my new crushes.
That's two amazing crushes to have.
Right? Yeah. I mean, they might both be heels, but you know, but for like guys, I haven't really thought about it much. There's not. I could say Braun Strowman is definitely one on there, probably as one of my favorites. Definitely coming from Wisconsin, where I am.
Oh, okay.
He's yeah. So and just how his build, he's so incredible in the ring. He's so strong. I mean, and he's having a match tonight on Raw scene with Bronson, and so yeah, there's not many males I can scout out and say at the moment. But for the
Okay.
woman, definitely Tiffany and Liv for sure.
Liv, I've always loved Liv because I'm a big horror fan, and Liv Morgan loves horror movies. Like she was in the TV series of Chucky and everything, and that's the reason why I love Liv is because like she's a big horror fan, and so is what's her name, Shot Shotzi's like a huge horror
Ooh,
fan,
yes,
and
yes.
Rhea is a big horror fan, and I like the girls that like horror.
You're right. Yeah, yeah. Because I see, yeah, you're definitely a big horror fan. I
Yeah.
see like your backgrounds
Oh
when
yeah,
you
with
do a lot of your
Chucky.
podcasts. Yeah, Chucky's my favorite horror character.
Oh really?
So
Nice.
yeah, it kind of came down from my mom. My mom's favorite is Chucky's, so it kind of just recited from her, and I kind of got the favorite Chucky from her, and I kind of like the original Chucky's.
Yes.
The new Chucky is all right. Um, I like it, but it's not like the originals, you know. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
still amazing, you know. So
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah. The television series is actually really good. Did you see the episode that Liv Morgan was on?
yes, I did. Oh my god, that was so awesome that she got to be part of it. Getting,
Chucky stabbed her.
yes, yes, blood coming out of her. Oh my god. Spewing it.
and, and like when did your passion for wrestling start? Like why did you want to start like watching the WWE?
Yeah. So wrestling for me basically came when I was like in elementary school.
Okay.
Um, and elementary school for me was first grade to fourth grade, and it started in like second grade, where I had a friend who uh, just was talking to me about wrestling, and I was like, I wasn't really fond of it at the time. I was like, yeah, yeah, whatever,
Yeah.
wrestling. Um, what a lot of people say is fake. I kind of thought that at the time, because I mean, I wasn't really into it at that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so he just kept persuading me to get into it. He was showing me like his wrestling figures and stuff, bringing them to school, and I was like,
Nice.
okay, those are pretty cool. And he got me. I think he was showing me like videos of wrestling matches and
Okay.
wrestling stuff, and um, just one day I just wanted to watch wrestling on the TV. So I turned it on and I just started watching it, and I got my dad back into wrestling.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, if so, yeah, because he used to be a big, well, not like a big fan, but he used to watch it here and there when he was younger, and so I got him back into the wrestling, and we watch it every week, and just starting from elementary school and till now, it's just been still in my life, and wrestling is just like I said, my life, and it just is something I've been loving. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And you don't only watch wrestling, but you also wrestle, right? And how did you start doing that? Like which wrestling places do you do stuff for?
Well, I'm in training at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really wrestling yet, but
Okay.
for training, um, I wrestle. Well, I started training here in Wisconsin for UTL, uh, which is a company in my really local. And then, other than that, I haven't branched out much yet. But there's this one hardcore deathmatch wrestler who I train under. We do traditional training wrestling, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, and his name is Tommy Trainwreck. I don't know if you've heard of him. He did
No, no, I never had.
XPW. Yeah. But he's not that big in the wrestling scene yet, but he's getting there. So so far I've been training with him in UTL, and right now I've been looking at maybe going to the Cobra, former WCW WWF wrestler in Appleton, or I've been thinking about maybe Frankie DeFalco in
Oh yeah, yeah.
Milwaukee. But right now I'm just starting out in my mainstay, which is UTL, and possibly branching out in the near future, which I would love to do to get some more training and learning from other types of wrestlers who've actually had experience in those big name companies and have
Definitely.
done it all with the big name wrestlers. So yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, like when I trained for wrestling, like that's what I did too. I was like, oh, where do I want to go? Because I live in Philly, and the big wrestling school close to me is the Monster Factory, and that was ran at the time by a former WWF wrestler, Pretty Boy Larry Sharp, and he was
Mm-hmm.
he was the trainer of the school, and I trained under him. And actually, me and Damian Priest were in the same class for Pretty Boy Larry Sharp. And
Wow, really?
yes, yes. So yeah, I trained with Damian Priest for like the first year that I was training for wrestling on under Larry Sharp, and it was fun. It was a fun time, and you definitely have to pick a school that has like a good name. You just don't want to go to any of these fly by night schools like and they just want you to come in and take your money and not train you right. Like you definitely want to find a school that has like a lot of people that went to it.
Yes, I definitely agree. And
Mm,
you talking about training with Damon Priest, that's pretty cool now seeing where he is in the
I
WWE to
know.
this day. He's really a rise, and he used to be homeless, and
Yeah.
now seeing where he is just insanely incredible what some of these people can do,
Oh
what
yeah.
can elevate them into now what their career is. And also to get on the question again, I was also maybe thinking about going to Mr. Kennedy
Oh
training
yeah, yeah.
school in Minnesota. Um, it's a little ways away from me, but I mean, he is a reputable guy.
Definitely.
He's
Definitely.
been in the business. He's won many championships, Money in the Bank. He's been in there, here, there, and everywhere, basically. And he's trained many numerous good names.
Yes,
Um,
definitely has.
um, so I've been thinking about him too. So he's a
Okay.
possibility, but
Well,
maybe
he's
just,
he's definitely a
but
good
maybe,
person to learn
yeah,
from.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
Nice. And you have a gimmick name that you use. Like, how did you come up with your name? Tell me what your name is. Like, how did you come up with it?
So Schroeder Von Dyke, correct?
Yes.
All right, yeah. So I actually started out as um, the Irish King the Beast. That's my first persona that I did, and so I have a trampoline in the back, and I just do like backyard wrestling type stuff,
Hmm.
like what like a lot of wrestlers did as kids, probably
Yeah, yeah.
wrestled in their backyard with their stuffed animals. That's what I do. Or sometimes I wrestle with my dad here and there when he feels up to it. um, he has a persona as well called the Bushwhacker.
The
He
bushwhacker.
yeah, he dresses up in like woodsy type clothes, but comes out like the Bushwhackers.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That I used to love that team.
Oh yes, they are great. Yeah. Um, so I started out as the Irish King the Beast, which was a good guy, built from Ireland. I was built from Dublin, Ireland, because I had a fantasy over Dublin, Ireland, just Ireland in general. I always wanted to go to Ireland. I always talked about Ireland, and
Probably because of Becky.
yes, yes, that was it. And I just had this big fantasy over wanting to go there and stuff, and so I just made a persona over that, and I made my own little faction with uh, made up wrestlers called Shante Wicklin, who was from Ireland, and then the Pitbull, who was from France.
Oh, okay.
And um, we had the Irish Dynasty. And then one day I had to do something which was turn on them, which I don't think
Oh,
nobody's seen.
you actually turned heel.
Yes, yep. I turned on them, and that's where I got Mr. Hardcore Psycho Short of On Dyke,
Ah.
and it turned into like a hardcore based wrestler where I did more of like the hardcore wrestling, and where I don't have the nickname Mr. Hardcore Psycho just to have the nickname Mr. Hardcore Psycho. I have the nickname to prove why I have the nickname Mr. Hardcore Psycho. Um, and I like just backyard wrestling with stuff I have, such as like I have a frying pan, as you can see in the made up poster I made for this
Yes.
interview. Um,
You you did a really good job with that too. Like putting all the graphics and all that stuff. Like that was really good. Like I don't know how to do that. Like that was really good. Like
I appreciate it. Yeah, I've been. I might want to go into graphic designing.
oh yeah,
Um,
you definitely should.
yeah, because for multiple years now, I've made posters and of like when wrestling events had like pay-per-views, I made the custom posters for those. I make
Oh
posters
nice.
for my made-up company with me and my friend Ryan. We do this made-up figure company that I make posters for sometimes, and just for fun, because when I get bored I just do that. And so yeah, but for my backyard, um one time I actually had like this chainsaw, which is one of the photos that I also had in the poster with the
Yep.
blood on my face. That's real blood in that photo, actually.
Oh, okay.
I usually use fake blood, but I actually had real blood because I had this chainsaw that I found at like a beach. It was old and rusty. I kind of cut at my forehead.
Oh no. Not that was something old and rusty. Yo, that is not you were
Yeah,
better off with getting a razor blade instead of something that's old and rusty.
yeah. I don't know what I was thinking at the time. I just did my forehead, and I had scrapes there for a couple days, which I have a picture of, and I bled on my face a little bit there, and that's the only time I actually bled. Otherwise, I use like fake blood.
Yeah.
I use like fake mist, um,
Oh,
which I'm
Huda.
still, yep, which I'm still trying to comprehend kind of how to do. I use like a bag and food coloring and water, but I
Mm.
mean, yeah. Other from that, that's kind of what it's going on. And um, October 26th, 25th, I'm going to be having of my first match, not like actual match, but like a backyard match with one
Oh,
of my
okay.
friends. Um, and we're gonna do like tables match. We're gonna do like hardcore match with tables and everything else. We're gonna do a table spot, and we're gonna be recording the whole match um, with weapons, not like big weapons, like just like chairs
Yeah.
and like the minor weapons, not like the like um shoot. Sorry.
Nothing
Uh
that would put you in uh like nothing the cops are calling for, right?
right. We'd have to call 911.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, none of that. But yeah, we're still in talks of how we're gonna do things, and but we have things scattered out of who's gonna win and stuff, and
Okay.
um, so yeah, that should be really fun.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Well, have fun with that. Good luck with it.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah,
And and now to talk about your show, Drip Talk with Blake the Snake. And
yeah.
so how did this show happen? Like, how did you come up with Drip Talk? And I'm guessing Blake the Snake is from Jake, right?
Yep, that's right. Yep. So I came up with my podcast. Wait, I would say like a year or so before COVID, I started a podcast. Kind of just because the world was down and beginning to get down, and something to do was needed. And also, I was really, really young and not as professional as I am now with like the whole setup, because I was obviously really, really young. I'm doing my interviews and just sitting in my living room on my phone, uh, talking to these wrestlers, because it was like getting to talk to these wrestlers were as as a young as younger getting to talk to these wrestlers was like, this is so cool, getting to talk to these wrestlers, getting
Oh
to
yeah.
ask them questions about their career, what's on with them. Interesting, actually, my first ever interview was not with a wrestler, it was with a monster truck driver
Oh wait,
who,
really?
yeah, Joe
Oh.
Yuri of Zombie at that time, which is kind of strange, but interesting because as my first interview, a monster truck driver, and my only monster truck driver I've had on my podcast, and other than wrestling personalities or anything of that sort on my podcast, is my first ever interview. So I kind of started before COVID to get to do something, because school was not really going at that time,
Mm-hmm.
and there was not much going on around anywhere. And just making a podcast is something that people can watch online. They don't have to go somewhere to watch something. They can go online, watch something from their home where they wanted you to be at that time. And so just interviewing the indie wrestlers starting out until my first ever big name guest, a couple of years in, or like a year or so, couple years into my podcasting, I had Evan T. Mack while he was part of the WWE The Bump.
Yes. Yes.
That was my first big guest
Okay.
as at to me at that time. Then I had the Maestro from WCW,
Oh
then
God, I remember
Angel,
him. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, then Angel Orsini and Mario Mancini. Um, I was doing it upstairs in just my loft, just on the sitting on the ground, and then I moved into my parents' bedroom. I had a setup in there where
Okay.
I started off on Instagram for a long time, and like in 2022 I got Facebook. Is the first year I got Facebook, and that's when I got many of the bigger names,
Oh
because
wow.
I actually found a lot of the bigger names on Facebook, and could become friends with them and get a hold of them that way. Um, to say I did get a hold of a lot of the big name wrestlers on Instagram too, here and there. Um, but who've wrestled for like WCW, WWF
Yeah.
as like just bring-ins for here and there, and um but other from that, now I've then moved in, and then I moved into the laundry room, and now I'm into my actual room, which I just got into, like, I would say a couple or so weeks, about like a half a month ago, and I decided to add all that to the wall for some
I know it
decorative.
looks good. It does. It looks
Yeah,
good. I
thank
like
you.
it.
Yeah, for some decorative uh things and whole setup in front of me. And so um yeah, but other from that, I've had Mick Foley on my
I
podcast.
know
I
that's a big name to get.
That's the biggest name in my whole entire interviewing career. I couldn't believe it. If it wasn't for Yerple the Clown, I was the only one that to get Yerpo the Clown as an
Yes.
interview. She
Yes.
said she turned down other interview requestees,
Really?
but yep, all of the other interview requestees that she got, she turned down. But when it came to me, she said yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
then going beyond that, just getting Mick Foley for me is just beyond exciting. It was like magical. Getting to keep a secret from everybody, including my parents, even, and them watching it, seeing who it was. Everybody literally freaked out watching it. It was like,
Oh yeah.
oh my God, no way you actually got Mick Foley. That was crazy. And it was just a dream to get him on. And so yeah.
That was definitely a big get. Like you had Foley on your show, and that's awesome. And I watched it too, and Mick was a really nice guy. Like he talked a while too.
Yes, he even gave on some of my things that I said. He might even bring them to the WWE board and try to make it happen with him and Yurpo reunite in WWE.
Yes.
Him as Santa Claus, her as Mrs. Claus. I mean, if I seen that on TV, I would be absolutely in shock because I'd be like, oh my God, that was my idea. And he brought it to the WWE and
Hmm.
just like the guy that brought hardcore wrestling to what it is kind of to this day, like the man of hardcore wrestling, the man who put his body on the line, like I said a little bit earlier. So it was, yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. When I saw you got Mick for a guest, I was like, that's great. That really is. That's great. And you've gotten like besides Mick, like you've gotten some like really good guests, like really nice guests, the wrestlers and I see you got like a bunch coming up too, and Dave Sullivan and all that, and you're doing really good. You definitely are getting the names, and that's the more names you get, the more views you get for the posts, and the more views you get, the more viewers.
Yeah, definitely. Because,
Hmm.
like, um, the more you get, the more videos you get out there, so people can see more options of who they might want to see more on their career. Like at Jeet Rama, that was like his
Oh
first
yes, yeah.
his first interview out of WWE, other than like a couple like Indian interviews, but that was like his first American interview
That's
outside of the
awesome.
WWE, which was great. And I'm in talks with maybe Guru Raj and Kavita Devi,
Okay,
um,
okay.
which is amazing. Some ones that I have coming up is Jimmy Nico, who is um, a tribute band musician who is up in the Minnesota area, who is Tiffany
Hmm.
Stratton's father.
Oh, I saw that. Yes, yes.
Yes, so that's going to be amazing. Um, I have Alexander Frecky, if that's how I say his last name. Tomorrow, he was a former WWE Tough Enough competitor. This Thursday, I have Big Dick Johnson, Chris
Oh,
DeJoseph.
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so, and then I have Chubby Dudley and Joe Goodhart coming up. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, that's a lot of people you have coming up.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. Like keep on doing it because you're you're definitely getting some good guests on the show, and just keep on hammering at it. I mean, you're going to get a lot of people to say no, but then you'll get people to say yes. I mean, more people are going to say no than they're going to say yes, but that's something I still have to learn yet. Whenever someone says no to me, I get mad. I'm like, oh, what the hell? Come on, like really? But
Yeah.
yeah, you're gonna get a lot of no's. You're gonna get like 20 no's to one yes.
Yes, yeah, yep. Yeah, there's been some no's that I've got, and you just gotta let it go because
Oh
you
yeah.
can't you can't just persuade them. Like no means no. Like they might have a reason behind why they don't want to do the interview or something. Maybe try back. Like sometimes I try back in like a year or so, just in case, to see if anything has let up
Hmm.
um, on their end, if they've changed their minds. I've done that with a couple wrestlers, which still get no's, but you never know. You
Well,
got it
yeah, yeah, exactly. You have to keep trying.
right. Yeah. So there's been a couple, but you know, just keep trying. So yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. So out of all the people that you've had on your show, like, is there one guest that you had the most fun with?
Most fun, I would probably have to say there was definitely a lot of like the Glow Girls,
Oh
Hollywood,
yeah.
Sunny the California Girl, Roxy Astor. I had Gremlina and Royal Hawaiian on, but to list like the most fun, Hollywood definitely. She is like the best.
She
She
she has a
is.
great personality. She really does.
Oh, yeah, when I went to Nashville for my band, she took the time out of her day to
I
come
know.
meet me and just give me signed cards. And you know she is so sweet and kind, and like Yerple, we talk here and there.
Oh,
she
okay.
is she is so nice to talk to. um she's such a kind person. But as for anybody else, I don't really talk to many of them,
Mm-hmm.
really. Um, but like as fun, definitely probably them.
Okay.
There's probably more that because I've had so many interviews.
I know. I know. You've definitely
Um,
done a lot of interviews.
like it's hard to remember everyone that
Yeah.
I've had on, unless like I was scrolling through and like, oh yeah, yeah. Um, like I've had Butterbean on for a little amount of time. Um, so, but
I actually wrestled
yeah,
him.
really.
Yeah.
Huh. How did that?
That was fun. Like it was it was like a fast match because he couldn't really do much in for the match, but it was basically what it was. Like I started the match, I got a few hits in on him and some eye rakes and chokeholds, and then the rest of the match he dominated me, and I ran outside the ring. He chased me, and I slid in before the 10 count. And he couldn't slide in before the 10 count, and I won. I won the match by count count out because he couldn't get back in the ring for the 10 count. And then the ref's holding my hand up as the winner, and Butterbean comes in and punches me, and he knocks me out.
Oh, I mean, it's great to say that you beat Butterbean,
Yeah, right.
but then on the other end, I mean, you have to say you got knocked out by him.
Yes, yes, yes. He came in with that hook and one hook to the jaw, and I was out.
Yeah.
Luckily, he didn't really hit hit me with all his like weight and stuff. Because if he really hit me, I probably wouldn't be sitting here talking about it now.
Right. Yeah.
No, but he was very nice though. Like me and him talk backstage, and we went out there and did it. Then after the match, we talked again. We went, the wrestlers that were there that night, we all went out and had dinner. And he's cool. He's really nice.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what do you like doing during your free time when you're not like wrestling or doing your interviews?
During my free time, I like doing so. I watch wrestling. I have a lot of wrestling figures. Oh, plenty of wrestling figures, but I've kind of grown out of playing with my wrestling figures. Now I just have them in a huge pile over there on my floor. Um, uh, so I don't really play with them anymore unless I hang out with my friend Ryan, who we run our own wrestling figure company um,
Okay.
called BBBW Bipolar Bluey Pro Wrestling. And then,
That's a hell of a name.
yeah, we kind of got it from the cartoon Bluey. Um,
Oh.
because he has autism. So, um, my friend, we've been friends since we became friends in a tech ed class in uh, middle school in
Okay.
like the end of seventh grade. About I knew of him. I knew of him before that he was a big wrestling fan. We had the same favorite wrestlers.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
and then just one day in tech ed, we just started talking and we became friends and we've hung out many times now. We started like I mentioned, our own wrestling company. Then we also
Yeah.
have, I run ECW, Escanaba Championship Wrestling, um, which is kind of a ripoff of Extreme Championship Wrestling. Um, but we have wrestlers from all over, like WWE, New Japan, all of like wrestlers that we can get as wrestling figures. So it's
All
pretty
right.
cool.
Nice. Nice. And we are in Halloween season, so are there any horror movies that you like to watch to get you in the mood for Halloween?
Um, I really like Chucky. Um,
Yes.
there's like a lot of like the Halloween movies with Michael Myers, and then a lot of the Freddy movies. Um, I like. I can't put a name on it. Jack Skeleton and
Oh, wait, the Nightmare Before Christmas, right? Is that it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Kind of a kid horror movie, but it's cool. Um, Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, no, no, it's a good one.
Yeah, definitely. Since I have two of them out now, I didn't watch the second one yet, so I definitely want to watch that. I wanted to watch it last year, um, just didn't have the time, or when it came out, I had something else going on, um, so I couldn't really watch it. And then after that, I like completely forgot about it and just never really watched it. So I definitely want to watch that. But other from that, there's not many horror movies I really watch other than that. So
Okay, okay, nice.
yeah.
And the last thing I will ask you is where could fans follow you and your show at?
So my interviews are on my Facebook now, under Blake DuFour, DUFOUR, and my Instagram is Blake underscore da underscore snake dot period Roberts, and some of my old interviews are on there that you can watch. And other from that, those are the only social medias I really have, other from Twitter, which I don't use. I just have it. Just I had it to maybe start doing interviews on, but I have that and then I have YouTube, which I don't do anything on, but Facebook and Instagram are your best bets. So yeah, if you want to find me, that's where I'm at. And so yeah,
Awesome, buddy. Well, thank you so much for coming on, doing the show. It was really nice, like to actually chat with you face to face instead of over text and DMs and all that.
yeah, yeah. I thank you for having me on here. It's a pleasure and just amazing.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, and it was amazing to get to finally talk to you and meet you in person, like
Well,
one
yeah,
on
it's
one
sort
here.
of in person, right?
Yeah, virtual in person. So yeah,
Yes. And, and
so
and you got
yeah,
like a good a show coming up with Sonny Ono, Bull Nakano, Yushin Thunderliger, and Dragon, the Ultimo Dragon. That's gonna be a good show.
yeah. That's MAW Grand Slam 6 in St. Paul, Minnesota. There's many names. I'm going with my wrestling friend that I'm
Mhm.
doing the match with. Um, so the day before, I'm going there Friday. The show's Saturday. I'm going there. The We're doing the wrestling show that night. I get there, and
Okay.
then the next day is the MAW Grand Slam 6 with just numerous big name guests. It's just insanely packed with great names, rare names, and
Oh my
just
God,
I
yeah.
Sid Justice was originally supposed to
I
be
know, I
there,
saw that. Yeah.
but he sadly passed away. I was so excited to meet him, a rare appearance,
Hmm.
um, but the other guests are amazing that are on there. So I
Oh
really,
yeah.
really can't wait.
Nice. Well, we'll have fun at the show, bud. Now it's time for me to take my medicine for my recovery from my hernia. So
Yeah. Well, I hope you get well soon with that.
thank you.
Yes.
Yes, it's definitely a process. I mean, it definitely hurts. I'm not gonna lie. The recovery process has been a pain in the ass.
I bet.
But yeah, I gotta go and take the medicine. So again, thank you so much for coming on and doing this, bud.
Yeah, I thank you so much for having me on here again, and it's a big pleasure to be on here, and I thank you so much.
Definitely, bud. Definitely. Well, I will talk to you soon. I see you got your interviews coming up, so I'll definitely be seeing you on the line a lot.
Yes, like tomorrow, my interview with Alexander Frecky. So yeah, I'll talk to you later, and I hope you have a good rest of your night.
Thank you, buddy. You too, man. Bye.
Bye.